In the nascent days of humanity, after the expulsion from Eden, Adam and Eve bore their first sons. The elder was named Cain, a name signifying acquisition, for Eve declared she had gotten a man from the Lord. He was destined to till the soil, a farmer bound to the earth. His younger brother was Abel, a name often associated with breath or vapor, suggesting a fleeting existence. Abel chose a different path, becoming a shepherd, tending to flocks of sheep. Thus, the first family began with two brothers, each pursuing a distinct livelihood. In the fullness of time, both brothers brought offerings before the Lord. Cain, the tiller of the ground, presented some of the fruits of his labor. Abel, the shepherd, brought the firstborn of his flock, selecting the choicest portions. The divine gaze fell upon their offerings, discerning the heart behind each gift. The Lord looked with favor upon Abel and his offering, accepting his sacrifice. However, Cain and his offering found no such favor in the eyes of the Almighty. A deep resentment began to fester within Cain's heart. His countenance fell, and his spirit grew troubled by the perceived slight and the divine preference shown to his brother. This initial rejection ignited a dangerous spark of envy within him. The Lord, ever watchful, perceived the turmoil within Cain. He spoke to Cain, questioning the source of his anger and the reason for his downcast face. The divine voice sought to guide Cain away from the precipice of sin. God warned Cain that if he did what was right, he would be accepted. But if he failed to do what was right, sin lay crouching at his door, eager to master him. This was a profound admonition, revealing the insidious nature of unaddressed transgression. The Lord urged Cain to master this lurking evil, to assert control over his burgeoning resentment. He was given a clear choice: to overcome the temptation or to succumb to its destructive power. The path of righteousness remained open to him. Despite the divine warning, Cain allowed his anger to consume him. The seeds of jealousy, once sown, had taken root and blossomed into a murderous intent. He harbored a dark design against his innocent brother. One day, Cain spoke to Abel, inviting him to the field. There, far from the watchful eyes of their parents, Cain rose up against his brother Abel and took his life. The earth drank the blood of the first human victim, crying out for justice. Soon after, the voice of the Lord called out to Cain, asking a chilling question: "Where is your brother Abel?" The divine inquiry pierced the silence, demanding an account for the missing sibling. Cain, however, feigned ignorance. He responded with a defiant denial, claiming he did not know Abel's whereabouts. His words were a veil, attempting to conceal the heinous act he had committed. The weight of his guilt, however, could not be so easily dismissed. Then, with a rhetorical question that has echoed through the ages, Cain challenged the divine authority. "Am I my brother's keeper?" This utterance revealed a profound lack of responsibility and a chilling disregard for human connection. The Lord, knowing all, pronounced judgment upon Cain. The ground itself, which had received Abel's blood, was now cursed because of Cain's deed. From that moment, the earth would no longer yield its full strength to him. Cain was banished from the land where he had committed his crime, driven away from the fertile ground he once tilled. His punishment was to be a fugitive and a wanderer upon the earth, forever restless and without a settled home. This was a profound separation from his origins and his community. The divine decree marked him as an outcast, condemned to roam. His life would be one of perpetual displacement, a stark consequence of his violent act. The weight of his sin would follow him wherever he went. Upon hearing his sentence, Cain cried out to the Lord, lamenting the severity of his punishment. He declared that his guilt was too great to bear, and that he would be hidden from God's face. His despair was profound. Cain expressed a deep fear for his life, believing that anyone who found him would seek to kill him in retribution for Abel's death. He foresaw a world where he would be hunted, forever paying the price for his transgression. His isolation was complete. In an act of both justice and mercy, the Lord placed a mark upon Cain. This mark was not for further punishment but for protection. It served as a visible sign, a divine decree against further bloodshed. God declared that anyone who harmed Cain would suffer sevenfold vengeance. This divine protection, though born of a terrible crime, underscored the sanctity of life even for the condemned. It prevented a cycle of endless retribution. Cain then departed from the presence of the Lord, leaving behind the land of his birth and the remnants of his family. He journeyed eastward, settling in a land known as Nod, which means wandering. His exile had truly begun. In the land of Nod, Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore a son. He named his son Enoch, a name signifying dedication or initiation. This birth marked the continuation of his lineage, despite his cursed state. Cain, perhaps seeking to establish a legacy or a place of security, built a city. He named this city after his son Enoch, a testament to his desire for permanence in a life of wandering. This act marked the beginning of urban civilization. Through Cain's lineage, the early developments of human society are traced. His descendants became pioneers in various crafts and ways of life, shaping the course of human endeavor. Their innovations laid foundations for future generations. Jabal, a descendant of Cain, became the ancestor of those who dwell in tents and raise livestock. He pioneered the nomadic pastoralist lifestyle, mastering the art of animal husbandry and mobile living. His legacy shaped early human economies. Jubal, another son of Lamech, was the ancestor of all who play the lyre and pipe. He brought forth the gift of music, enriching human culture with melody and harmony. His innovations gave voice to human emotion and celebration. Tubal-Cain, a master craftsman, was the ancestor of all who forge instruments of bronze and iron. He unlocked the secrets of metallurgy, providing tools and weapons that transformed human capabilities. His skill advanced technology and warfare. After the tragedy of Abel and the exile of Cain, Adam and Eve were blessed with another son. Eve declared that God had granted her another offspring in place of Abel, whom Cain had slain. They named him Seth, meaning appointed or placed. Seth's birth brought a renewed sense of hope and continuity to the first family. He was seen as a replacement for the lost Abel, signifying a fresh start for humanity's righteous line. Through Seth, the promise of a godly lineage would continue. It was during the time of Seth, and through his descendants, that a significant spiritual shift occurred. People began to invoke the name of the Lord, calling upon the divine in a more public and communal manner. This marked a deepening of human faith. This period signified a turning point, where humanity consciously sought a relationship with the Creator. The invocation of God's name represented a collective acknowledgement of divine sovereignty and a desire for spiritual connection. It was a step towards communal worship. The narrative of Cain and Abel stands as a profound, cautionary tale for all generations. It vividly illustrates the destructive power of unchecked human emotions and the dire consequences that follow. Its lessons resonate through time. This ancient account highlights the insidious dangers of envy and jealousy. Cain's resentment towards his brother, born from a perceived slight, festered into a murderous rage. It teaches that such emotions, if left untamed, can lead to ultimate destruction. The story powerfully illustrates the far-reaching consequences of sin. Cain's act of fratricide brought not only the death of his brother, but also his own banishment, a life of wandering, and a curse upon his labor. Sin's ripple effects are profound. Ultimately, the narrative emphasizes the enduring importance of seeking God's favor through righteous living and a pure heart. Abel's accepted offering, born of faith and the best of his flock, stands in stark contrast to Cain's rejected gift. It is a timeless reminder that true devotion lies in the spirit of the offering, not merely the act itself.